Where would we be without them? So my question is, are you the one that is going to be the next leader to lead black folks and everybody else into the position to where we know we want to be? Is that you? Are you too self-centered on what you want to do? Hey, thank you for watching Power to the Pod, where we are committed to an intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. I'm your host, Superior, and once again, thank you for watching. Now, in this video, I want to ask you a serious question, especially if you're a person of color, because this has been something that's been going throughout my mind for years now, and it feels like it's a natural thing a black person, especially my age, deals with, and that's politics and racism. Those two things seem to cross every person of color's path, and I believe at some point they have to make a decision. Do you want to spend your time, your energy, your resources, your mental power on combating something that might just be an issue way after you're gone? Or do you just want to just say, you know what, I don't want to deal with none of this, and I want to do what I'm passionate about and just hope for the best for black folks and really mankind? You know what I'm saying? Like, in this interview that we're going to watch with Neil deGrasse Tyson, he was faced with that same kind of dilemma. And I didn't know that. After reading a couple of his books, it's like, that's a big question. That's a big burden to put on people. Because if Martin Luther King made a different decision in life, would we be where we're at today? If Frederick Douglass just wanted to just live his life and hope for the best for black folks, and, you know, would we be where we're at today? Malcolm X, James Baldwin, W.E.B. Du Bois, Huey P. Newton, the list can go on. Like, it almost feels like you could be that factor that could change generations in the future. But if we're so self-centered and just so worried about ourselves, like, are we missing out on something? But without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this interview and let's have that conversation. And before we get started, I have this blurry thing on there because I don't want them taking down videos because, you know, they have their stuff, copyrighted, which is cool. But I think still having this conversation is worth it. You know what I'm saying? So let's just go ahead and you can kind of imagine throughout the peephole. So.
Well, I guess this is around the same time. Something interesting happened in 1989. So you were speaking to someone about what you're focused on. And when you said astrophysics, they said the black community can't afford the luxury of someone with your intellect to spend it on that subject.
Okay, let me clarify the timeline on that. That conversation took place in 1978.
Ooh. Oh, okay, my bad.
Okay, no. But I see, I know where you're landed there, and I'll tighten that up. So that happened while I was in college. Uh-huh. I was wrestling, and I was on the wrestling team as a first love of sport, by the way. It's funny how others, they'd see me play basketball. Oh, why don't you go play basketball? I said, no, I prefer to wrestle. No, but you should play. Again, it's the, what have you seen in your life?
I wrestled in high school too.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh yeah, it actually saved my life at one point.
Yeah, all right.
That's a different story.
Yeah, wrestling, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's
Definitely a thing. Yeah.
It's totally a thing. So a fellow wrestler of mine 2 years ahead of me, but we're the same weight category. So we're rolling around all the time with each other. We're walking out of the practice room, and that's when he hands me that line. He said, what were you majoring in again? Astrophysics. He said, the black community cannot afford the luxury of someone with your intellect becoming an astrophysicist. He was majoring in economics.
Ooh, hold on. Let's hear that again. I need you to understand what he's saying.
Someone with your said the black community cannot afford the luxury of someone with your intellect becoming an astrophysicist. He was majoring in economics. And I think he became a Rhodes Scholar or something and would go research enterprise zones in the inner cities and all of this. And so that was a very heavy emotional burden he put on me. That one sentence. Because I knew intellectually he's correct, but emotionally, it's not what I felt. Emotionally, I love the universe. I want to study the universe.
Why would you feel intellectually that is correct?
Because the black community still had a long way to go in terms of advances in our culture, in our civilization, in our today we'd call it diversity, equity, and inclusion, phrases that didn't exist back then, but that's what we knew was necessary and not yet achieved. And if I could find some way, and I was socialized, so if I could find some way to do like what my father did and try to bring some sense of justice to the world. But here I am, the astrophysicist. And so fast forward, so this is a burden. I'm feeling this all throughout graduate school, okay? Throughout the rest of college, and it's there. It's like this albatross weighing me down on my neck. And, well, I haven't referenced the albatross in the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, the albatross. But anyhow, this anvil around my neck, thinking about it. And it was not until 1989 that I climbed out of that hole.
All right, let's go ahead, switch up here. That was, to me, that is, it has to be one of the most important questions, I think. I guess really to anyone, it doesn't really have to be race driven, but I think when you come into this world and everything, especially if you're aware, okay, I'm not talking about stupid people who don't read books, who don't have a sense of awareness of the world that they live in. I'm not talking about folks like that. I'm talking about people who are conscious, people who, I guess, who are awake and can see things and can see patterns and know a little history and kind of know if you don't fix it, it's going to continue. Just really basic stuff like that. Like, in your boisterous, in your you have a sense of helping people. You have to ask yourself at some point, do I want to commit my life, my time, my efforts, my everything into progressing the black community, I guess you could say, and essentially everyone else, because we already know what helps black people helps all people. You know what I'm saying? Like every legislation, every bill that's passed for black folks has helped everybody. So I don't understand why people are so afraid to help people. But is it bad to want to just do you? If I want to be an astrophysicist, can I? I mean, can I do both? Is it really possible? I don't think so. To be a leader like Martin Luther King, like I said, you have to commit your life. You have to commit to the cause. You have to continuously educate yourself and put yourself in front of people and educate others and advocate for something better. Now, once again, Neil deGrasse, he does a great job because, like I said, I read his book. I think I got his book right over here. He does a beautiful job talking about the stars and the galaxy and bringing that to politics to where it makes sense. But can you imagine if he put his entire life into politics and activism and just, you know, I don't want to say he's not helping the black community, because I know he is, But if he spent all that time into doing, where could he be? What would he be? Who would he be? I don't know. But my dilemma, and I'm not sure if you guys share the same thing, but my dilemma is I don't want to have the future of Black folks missing out on something because I wanted to be selfish. Now I'm a different kind of breed. You know, I'm cut from a different cloth. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too self-centered to be like, you know what? I want to help people. I want to help those who want help, and I want to help those who don't want the help. You see what I'm saying? But where would we be if it wasn't for Martin Luther King? Where would we be if it wasn't for Frederick Douglass, Nat Turner? You know what I'm saying? And it's a whole heap of people. A whole heap of people. Where would we be without them? So my question is, are you the one that is going to be the next leader to lead Black folks and everybody else into the position to where we know we want to be? Is that you? Are you too self-centered on what you want to do? Is your ambitions and your own goals and your own achievements blinding you from doing what's, I guess, the world needs, essentially? Once again, if it Huey P. Newton, if it wasn't for the Black Panther Party of self-defense, like, come on now. So once again, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm just looking too deep into this. Maybe, you know, racism is going to be a forever thing, and I shouldn't just waste my time on trying to dig people out of this hole, you know, 1 foot at a time. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe none of it matters. Maybe I should just go and, I don't know, I want to be an artist. I would love to just draw all day. But it feels like there's something bigger than just myself. I don't know. But once again, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let's have that conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.